Hey doing everyone, welcome back. I know I gave you a debate analysis already, but I'm going to break it down a little bit more in depth as to what I think happened at that debate. Obviously, I think Kamala Harris beat Trump pretty handily. She had him back on his heels the whole time, and he was just flabbergasted and just didn't know how to handle her. You know, I mean, she played, he played right into her hands, I should say. She played him just like a fiddle. Okay, and I think that started actually even before she went to her podium. And the reason I say that is, did you see the handshake at the beginning? Trump wasn't going to shake her hand. She walked up to him. She was expecting to meet center stage for a handshake. When he did not meet her center stage, she walked over to him and extended her hand and introduced herself. And that was a power move on her part. That was big. That was bigger than most people seem to realize. That was an absolute power move. He didn't know what to do about that. He was clearly uncomfortable with it. You know, and like I said, she had him on his heels. It started there, and then it just continued. When she encouraged people to go to a Trump rally, to hear him talking about windmills and Hannibal Lecter, and to see people yawning and leaving early. And yeah, we've seen the videos of people leaving early. Trump denies it, but we've seen the videos. You know why? Because all he does is play the hits. He's got no new songs to sing. So, that's, like I said in a previous video, that's okay if you're a band like Foreigner, for example. But if you're a band like, I don't know, Avatar, you better be playing some new material. And Trump doesn't do that. He just plays the hits. And he tried to hit her on her changes in policy, and you know what? That's fair game. That's a legitimate question, a legitimate criticism. Hey, Kamala, why did you change your opinion on some policies? We should know that. Okay, that is absolutely a fair question. Why did you change on that issue? I've changed on issues over time, so I'm not saying, hey, look, you held this one position here, so you have to always hold that position. Okay? You get it, I get it. I was once told that if you've never changed your opinion on something, you have never learned anything. So, is it for political expediency, or did she actually learn something that changed her opinion? A fair question, and we deserve to know that. And I thought it was actually kind of a funny line when he said that he was going to send her a MAGA hat. Even though this guy, he's also changing his positions all the time. He will take 6 sides of the same issue in 30 seconds. Clearly I'm exaggerating there, but not by much. Not by much. I've seen him do it. Trump tries to say that that Harris is a Marxist. Because her father was a Marxist professor. Okay, fair enough. I get it. So he's a Marxist professor, therefore she's a Marxist. Well, here's where I kind of don't agree with that. My father was a grain inspector. The hell do I know about it? That doesn't mean that I'm also a grain inspector. I don't know that her father was even a Marxist, but just that he taught Marxist economics. Okay, maybe he was actually a Marxist, but you know what? Your father being one thing doesn't mean you're that same thing. Hey, Donnie, your father was got into some legal trouble at a KKK rally back in, I believe it was the 1920s. So does that mean that you're the same way? I mean, I don't think you're quite to that extreme, but maybe I'm wrong on that. But we've definitely seen some racism and sexism out of you. So by bringing up the rallies and the crowd sizes, that sent Trump off on an absolute bizarre tirade, and he's repeating that debunked story out of Ohio with people eating pets, and a story out of Aurora, Colorado, where gang members were taking over an apartment building. And honestly, I don't even know the truth on that story, so I'm not going to get into that because I don't know what's going on with that. So I'm not going to offer any thoughts on it other than I've heard that it did happen. I've heard that it didn't. I don't know the truth on it. But the Hannibal Lecter, windmills, and Trump went on and he repeated the, again, multiple times debunked post-birth abortion lie. Women are not carrying pregnancies to term 7, 8, 9 months along and deciding to have an abortion just, I don't want this kid. That doesn't happen. There might be a few extremely rare circumstances where it does, but I don't know. I've known plenty of pregnant women in my life, and I have never seen one yet. Even those who support the right to an abortion. I've never met one yet that has carried a baby to term and decided, nah, I don't want it. Never once. It doesn't happen. Okay? And when it does happen late in a pregnancy, it's because of medical emergency situations. It's something like 90% happen in the first trimester, and like another, I don't have the numbers in front of me here. I'm going by what I heard someone say a few minutes ago, but it's something like 90% in the first trimester, and then another large percentage of the remainder of that 10% take place within, before the point of viability, which is generally 22 to 24 weeks, depending on who you ask on that. At 24 weeks, I mean, if you want to put in a 24-week ban, I'm actually okay with that, with the exceptions of, a miscarriage that has to be removed, or the woman's life is in danger. she's going to suffer severe health issues if she carries that pregnancy. So yeah, I would be okay with a ban at the point of viability. But to say that it's happening post-birth, that's deranged. No one believes that. Literally, no one. He got called out for his position on Ukraine. Do you want Ukraine to win their war against Russia? Well, I just want the war to end. Yeah, well, we know that you're in Putin's pocket, so a lot of people are saying that your method of ending the war, which, by the way, you said you'll have it ended before you even take office. Yeah, sure you will. You'll have it ended before you even take office. What are you going to do? Just tell Putin, you know what? We're out. We're going to get NATO out of the way. And yeah, and then you're going to let him just have Ukraine. And when Kamala Harris said that Putin will be in Kyiv and he will eat Donald Trump for lunch, I think she's right on that. Actually, I know she's right on that because we've seen it. Flattery works, and she pointed that out. All they have to do is flatter him, and that's Putin, that's Viktor Orban in Hungary, that's Kim Jong-un. The love letters. I'm sorry, but having the endorsement of Viktor Orban is not something to brag about. But yeah, she pointed out that the flattery works. And with the Ukraine situation, when she said that former president, we know what she was going to say. We know what she was going to say there, what she wanted to say. She caught herself. I would have defended her if she'd have actually said it, though. I'm glad she didn't, but I would have defended her. I think she was actually going to call him a fella, but, probably not. But that former president won't say if he wants our ally to win their war against our adversary because he's friends with the adversary. Well, it's good to get along with people. Sure. Not by bowing down to him, though. You stand up to him. You stand up to him. Putin is a bully in this world. Now, when I was a kid, the way we dealt with bullies, you just punch them right in the face. Literally back then. And you don't have a problem with the bully anymore. Now, these days, and on the world stage, you don't want to, it's not literal, but you do stand up to them, You show them that you're not going to back down. And when they see that you're not going to back down from them, they're not so tough anymore, are they? But yeah, Harris called him out. She won it with the handshake. But then she just crushed him with questioning the crowd sizes and, bringing up his rallies and how people are leaving early and how people get bored. But yeah, she just absolutely demolished him. And those are some key points that I wanted to bring up specifically. And I'm sure I still didn't hit everything. But let me know in the comments what you think. I'll see you next time.